What's going on, YouTube? In this one, I'm going to be setting up a aquascape for my smallmouth bass Chomper. Is going to have minimalistic plants because they're found in rocky outcrops. Let's get into the build. It's going to start out with a 10-gallon standard aquarium. Looks pretty normal. Freshly dismantled, freshly washed. We're going to be using some grape-sized gravel just to build up the backside. This is also from an old tank, so it is filled with beneficial bacteria. It will also help filter the tank, because, an earwig, because I don't want this in here. I want it to help give the plant some nutrients. I'm going to be building up the hardscape with some stones. I'm going to be placing them to hold the rocks back, because I don't want them falling out all over the build. Using odd numbers actually looks way better in the build. So this is just the base of the hardscape. It's like the skeleton of the whole aquarium, so you need to make it look good. This is the final hardscape. I've been working on this for well over 2 hours. I'd say more close to 3. It is now nighttime, and it's time to fill in the foreground with some garnet sand. I'm going to drop it in with a mini shovel, so I can have not a thin layer, but a thick layer, because I'm going to put some plants in the foreground, probably only just one. Also, it houses lots of beneficial bacteria. I'm going to drop a whole bunch in there. Then I'm going to flatten it out by dumping in some water. This is the final bits of sand. Now I'm going to be adding in some detail stones with some pea-sized gravel. There's no specific way to do this. I just drop it in around the fronts of the rocks, and it helps bring in loads of texture for this awesome scape. I'm also going to drop a little bit on the rocks, because that makes it look better. This is what I turned out with, and I think it looks pretty good. I also dropped a few in the sandy areas so I have more space for Chomper. I'm going to fill up the tank now. I want to pour some on the wood so that the wood will sink, because the wood will add interest to the tank. I'm just pouring it on the rocks so it breaks the fall. Also, there is a hidden filter in the rocks. I'm going to be using a 2-gallon pail just to fill this up, and I'm spilling because I can't see, so I don't want to bump the camera. This is the tank one day later, and I'm going to be planting it with some Vallisneria americana. I'm going to be putting it sparsely in between the rocks, because it is well filtered. It has a little bit of flow for the roots, helps give it a little bit of oxygen. You can see. Also, I'm going to be using it in there because it has beneficial bacteria on the rocks down there, because this is all pulled from their old scape. There's no real way to do this. You just put in the plants in places that fit it and make sure it looks nice. If it doesn't, take it out and plant it somewhere else. Piece floats away, put it back in. I like to envision my scape beforehand and then I build it. That way it looks really nice when I'm done. And this is the one plant I was talking about in the foreground. This will help cover up that little fish cave, that I have 2 fish cages in here for my fish and maybe a crayfish I might add, because they like eating crayfish. Also, crayfish do clean up the tank. I've been using 7 pieces, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I want to plant this as sparsely as possible. Now I'm going to be adding in little tufts of flame moss here. I think that's enough. You want to just tuck in the extra pieces into the crack. That way it looks better. I'm going to be adding in a little bit more pieces so that it looks a little bit better. It also helps filter. Now I'm adding a little bit of duckweed now, which is very good at help keeping algae at bay. I think that's just about enough. I might add a little bit more, because I want to get a nice little carpet across the top. Adding it in. I don't want the extra plants from the other tank in it. Now I'm going to be cycling the tank with Nutrifin Aqua Cycler. I'm going to be dosing the tank with the amount I need. First, you need to shake it up. Then you're going to read the instructions on it, find out the correct amount you need, which I'm going to do. Let me just see that. Yeah, that's about enough. Okay, let's dump it in. Make sure not to dump it in one spot, because it wants to go all over the tank so that it all gets equally filtered. Now, while it has been cycling, I also acclimated my bass for a little bit. I'm going to be putting him in now that my bass is acclimated. Let's float him out. If he doesn't swim out. Okay, let's just make sure he comes out now. There we go. There you have it, guys. That is an aquascape for a smallmouth bass. This is not a temporary setup. This is not a permanent setup. This is a temporary setup because this will grow. The bass will grow and it will outgrow the tank eventually. Hopefully by the time it outgrows the tank, I will have big enough tank for it. Thank you so much for watching.